Tony, Ellen, Happy New Year and congratulations on your brand new 2023 Subaru Forester Touring. I appreciate you guys for allowing me the opportunity to work with you and earn your business on this vehicle. As promised, I'm going to make a quick little walkthrough, demonstrate you all the features, and help you get more familiar with this vehicle. Feel free as you watch to walk along and touch all the buttons and features along with me so you guys get a little bit more familiar. This vehicle has a lot of safety bells and whistles. You'll notice the little circular sensors on the rear bumper. This vehicle does have backup sensors along with reverse automatic braking. Taking a step up, this little guy right there, that is your backup camera. You're gonna touch this right here below the emblem. There's a grippy button. Just give that a push. Power liftgate opens and closes as well. Spacing in the back. Down here, if we lift up this little strap here, you do have a little bit of storage. And we lift up the styrofoam, you have your spare tire along with your tools. We'll drop that down. You do have a 12-volt charger right here as well. And you got a little latch here for the seating on each side. If you pull back that latch, I'm going to demonstrate. It just drops the receipts right on down. So you can load any items on in. Taking a step back, you got two buttons above. This one just shuts the power liftgate. This one, if the car is off and you got your keys and you're ready to go inside your home, will shut the liftgate and lock all the doors. And you just go right on inside. I'm just going to hit that one for now to shut the liftgate. Now your gas tank over here, to open it, all you got to do is make sure the doors to your new Forester is unlocked. And then you just push it right on in right there. Opens right up. Uses just regular unleaded fuel. You do not need premium. Now to lock this up, you just push it, make sure it's shut, and then lock the doors to the car. And it locks that up right there too. So you don't got to worry about people opening and closing it when you're not around. Open passenger rear door here. Nice large door opening. The Forester does have a taller roof, so great visibility and really easy to kind of slide on in and out for your passengers. Plenty of leg room, plenty of headroom. Feels very open. You got rear AC down here. Vents open or close. You got two USB ports to charge devices. And then these are heated seats for your passengers in the back. Nice little slots to put items in. You also have an armrest in the center with two cup holders here. To the right side on each door, you have a spot for a water bottle as well. Swinging outside over here, it does have LED turn signals on each mirror. Just allow other drivers to see if you're about to switch lanes whenever your signal is on. Now your blind spot detectors used to be on the mirror, but on a sunny day, it's hard to see that orange light pop up. So Subaru was smart enough, if you look closely, to move it right here. There's a glossy rectangle where your blind spot detector lights will appear in amber whenever someone is in your blind spot. Coming to the front, beautiful front end. Looks really nice and modern. Headlights are LED, so crisp, bright white lighting at night, and they're steering responsive. What that means is as you steer the wheel back and forth, the headlights will veer in that direction to give you greater visibility in case there are any dark roads where there are more corners. And of course, you got fog lights below. Jumping up top on the windshield, there are two camera sensors here for the EyeSight driver assist technology. That will give you pre-collision braking, which will prevent any accidents ahead of you. If the vehicle thinks you may collide with an object or a vehicle ahead of you, it will slow the vehicle down, brake completely if needed to minimize any impact. Jumping on in over here, this vehicle does have memory setting. For the driver's side, you can set two different settings on it. Power seats here. To adjust the seating, forward, backward. If you want to sit a little bit higher, just raise this up. You want to lower it down. You got incline or decline, and then lumbar adjustment for your back as well. Over here to the left, this button here is to open or close your power rear liftgate. Followed by SRH is an acronym for the steering responsive headlights. I would leave that on. It's a pretty good feature. You can also save how high or how low your power liftgate will open just in case you have a lower hanging garage. This dial over here is for when the headlights are on the night. If I scroll up or down, it adjusts the brightness of the speedometer along with the center touchscreen when the headlights are on the night. I usually leave it on the second to last one. I find that's a pretty good setting for myself, but feel free to play around with it and check it out. This button here will be for your traction control on or off. Another feature I would just leave on. This little A off button, this is for a feature called auto start stop. Most modern cars have this feature now. You may have noticed it, but essentially when you come to a stop, if you were to compress the brake pedal all the way down at the stop, while the vehicle is on, it actually shuts up the engine for a little bit, keeps everything else on just to save fuel until you hit the gas and go again. Now, if you don't like that feature, you just hit that to turn it off, and it'll turn it off for the duration of the drive. This symbol over here is for your blind spot detectors, on or off. A great feature I would just leave on, followed by your driver mitigation system. Now, the driver mitigation system, this is going to be shown right over here. It's going to be for the sensor you see here, which can actually recognize if the driver is not paying attention to the road or if they're looking drowsy. It'll warn the driver to pay attention and look forward, or if you're drowsy, to pull over and take a rest if needed. Now, to adjust your steering wheel at all, there's going to be a little lever down here. You just put your thumb in, lift that down, and you can pull your steering wheel closer away and up and down. Once you get to where you like, just lift that lever right back up. A little bit about the interior here. I'll go over it pretty quickly here, but you do have two displays here. Your main 8-inch touchscreen radio is right down here, but you do have another display up top that shows you a little information. To change the information, you see, just touch your info button here, and each time you press it, it will give you a different slide. So I'll go ahead and slide right through. Shows you weather in the area. You also have your compass. I'm facing northeast. You have the media or radio station that's currently playing, followed by fuel information. Now this car, it shows 6 miles per gallon average. It gets way more than that, up to 33 miles per gallon on the highway, and it can change to however the driver may be driving the car too, of course. Over time, it will update accordingly as you put more miles on it. This car only has 18 miles on it, so it's not quite calibrated quite yet until you put more miles on it. Give it another push. You got the Friday calendar here. And this screen here will take you to more in-depth settings for the car. If you really want to dial it in, all you do is hold down this info button, and it'll take you into another screen here. And you can kind of navigate around with it, mainly for like the date and whatnot. Don't really gotta mess with it too much. And I'll just back out of it there. And this screen here shows you all the safety features that are on and activated in the vehicle in green there. Now, with the two cameras up here, as I mentioned earlier, for the eyesight driver assist, that's about 4 different functions, starting with your lane departure warning. I recommend leaving it on, but you can certainly turn it off. But essentially, as you drive, if you were to cross over into another lane without using a signal, it will give you a warning because it thinks you're drifting off unintentionally. Now, if you don't like the lane departure warning, turn it off. Just press and hold this button. Keep holding it down, look down to your left. That amber indicator lets you know that you turned off the lane departure warning. To turn it back on, just keep press and hold and keep holding it down, and it goes away. Now it's back on. Function number 2 will be your pre-collision braking. This one I recommend always leave on, but this is the one that prevents accidents ahead of you. For if the vehicle thinks you may collide with the vehicle ahead of you. Let's say you're driving, somebody slams the brakes, you don't catch it, the vehicle will brake and minimize any impact. It won't totally completely avoid an accident, but it will do its best to do so. But I recommend leaving that on. I've actually heard nothing but good about it from my previous clients that saved them a few times. Function number 3 of the eyesight driver assist will be your adaptive cruise control paired with your lane centering. So cruise control here, give that a push, you'll see that display there change. It's adaptive, so this is the modern one. So when you set your speed on the highway, all you do is flick this button down to set a speed while you're cruising on the highway. Not only does it hold your speed, but if you're approaching a car ahead of you on the highway that's going slower than you, once you get too close, it'll actually slow you down and maintain the distance from you and the car ahead of you. As you see here, there are a few lines in front of that vehicle there, about 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the cushion that you'll have from the car ahead of you while using the adaptive cruise control on the highway. And you can adjust your distance according to your liking with these two outer buttons here. So right now it's maxed out, but if I want to minimize the lines, I'm going to hit this bottom button here, and then you'll see the lines start to move back. I recommend always at least 2, if not more, lines for the cushion while on the highway. Each line represents about a 1 car cushion in front of you while using a feature on the highway. Followed by function number 4, the lane centering. This one here, I'm going to push it. Turn it right on, you'll see the icon pop up right there. That is your lane centering. That one will physically keep you within the lane while coupled with the adaptive cruise control while on the highway. So essentially with those two on right now, it's ready to go. When you're on the highway, all you got to do is get to a certain speed, set your speed on the highway. Now it's driver assist, so you still got to hold on to the wheel lightly, but it's going to keep you at a certain speed behind the car ahead of you, and then smoothly and physically within the lane. It's all driver assist, not self-driving, so you don't want to depend on it, but it will do most of the work. Great for long road trips on the highway. Coming down here, you do have what's called the S and the I drive. These are 2 different drive modes. By default, when you turn on the car, and if we look closely, you'll notice the I, which stands for intelligent mode. It's more so like a eco or a comfort level of driving. And if I push the S, it'll change, and you'll see next to the P for park, it now says S right down there. The S will be a sport mode. That's if you ever need a little bit more pickup and power. Let's say you're entering a highway or going up a mountain, you may want a little bit more power and torque. If I reach behind the steering wheel, there's a little button here. If I push it or I press it forward towards me, you'll have an orange indicator here. This is for your heated steering wheel. Great for the winter times. And it's turn off, just reach back and pull it forward and that light goes away. All your buttons over here to your left will be for media and entertainment. You got your volume controls, skip songs, previous songs. Source will change your media source. For instance, if I hit radio here, it's currently on Sirius XM satellite radio. But if I were to press source without taking my eyes off the road, you can change between FM, AM, XM. And if you have Bluetooth or Apple CarPlay, Android Auto connected, it'll cycle through those 2. Followed by down here, you got these 2 arrows and a center button here behind the steering wheel. These 2 arrows, go ahead and pull on maybe the top one. It doesn't matter which one you pull, but it's going to change your info display down here. I'm just going to give it 1 press. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 7 takes you back to the digital speedometer, which is predominantly what people leave it on. But this little arrow down here, doesn't matter which one you press on, will change your information display down here. So digital speedometer, you got trip time, how long the car's been on, and then how many miles you've driven. I've driven nowhere because I'm parked right here, so it says 0 miles, but you can track your trips right there. You also have your fuel efficiency. Right now it is just zeroed out because I haven't driven anywhere yet, but as you start driving, it'll start adjusting. And then this is a setting screen, again, a little bit more in depth. To get into this menu, just press and hold. It's kind of hard to see, but the middle set button until it takes you into the menu. I'm just going to pull on the arrows one more time. Here's your tire pressure monitoring system. Again, zeroed out until you start driving. It'll start calibrating and tell you the PSI. And then here, this is for that auto start stop feature earlier, the one that I mentioned where it shuts off your engine at a stop if you were to compress the brake all the way down. Basically, what this is going to track is anytime that feature is activated where it shuts off the engine, and then how much fuel you'll save over the lifetime use of that feature in this vehicle for you. I'll press back on the arrow, and it takes me back to the digital speedometer. Headlight settings are going to be over here. Let me move over this way. There is an auto setting, which the line is on right now. I will leave it on that. That way at night, the lights will just turn on for your headlights, and then during the day they'll turn off. However, being off, there is also your daytime running lights for other drivers to see you. For your fog lights, Same bar in the back. If you twist this up, that turns your fog lights on. If you twist this ring here down, it'll turn the headlights off. So again, on, followed by off, right there. Let me take a look up here. You do have a nice moonroof, sunroof that retracts all the way back. Just push and hold, 1, 2. It pulls back the glass and with the cover at the same time. It'll stop about there if you hold it down for 2 seconds. However, to completely open it, just push that button back again, max capacity. To close it, just reach up and push it forward, 1, 2, let go, and it pulls back the glass and the cover. Now, if you don't want the glass to open, but you want to expose it, just pull back the cover right there. Easy as that. Up top, you do have your Starlink emergency services along with roadside assistance. If you were to get in an accident, I hope it never happens, God forbid. But if you ever were in an emergency, if you need first responders, just hit the red SOS button. And then over here to your right, the blue button will be for roadside assistance. That's available nationwide for you. But yeah, I hope this helped. Give you a quick little intro. Actually, let me pause. Let me jump down here. I totally forgot. AC controls are going to be right down here. Let me turn on the light, see a little bit better. Boom, here we go. So it does have dual climate control settings. Now, anytime you just climate control, I'm going to twist temperature for the driver here. Right now it's synced up, so you'll see the adjustments are right up here. Now, if you want to unsync it for your passenger, all they got to do is just go ahead and crank their side there. And it separates the two temps. Fan speed will be in the middle. Now just turn it right on down. And then you do have a few buttons here too for AC on or off, different modes for airflow. You got max AC, which just cranks it on full blast, and then sync, which just sync it back up and pair it with whatever temperature the driver desires there. These are also buttons if you were to completely turn off the AC, just push that in. And then auto AC, you also have air circulation right here. And then also front defroster button is right there. You'll see an orange amber light pop up, along with rear defroster and heated side mirrors button right there on the bottom. Give that a push. Hazards right here. See they're functioning properly. And we'll turn that off. Your push start button here is how you turn on or off the car. Now to turn off the car, you don't need to hit the brake, you just push the button. That shuts it off. Now to turn it on, just make sure the key is in the car with you. Put your foot on the brake. You'll see that light turn green when I push the brake, and then now just give it a push. Turns everything right on. Coming down here, this is your parking brake. There's no more manual lever like in the older cars. To activate the parking brake, it's pretty simple. All you gotta do is just lift this up. Just like in your traditional parking brake, it's up to lock. And then to unlock, you push it down, right? Now to lock it, you don't need the brake. You just push it up. You'll have an orange or red indicator here, let you know it is parked and activated. You'll also see the parking symbol to the right there. Let me go ahead and focus. There it goes. Now to turn off the parking brake, you do need to apply your foot on the brake and then just push this button down. Now it's off. The light goes away. Same with the parking light over here to the right. Easy as that. And again, how I remember it, to lock it, it's up. So we hit up. And then to deactivate it, it's down. So we just foot on brake and then hit down. You got your butt warmers over here for the driver and the front passenger. X mode, this is a feature if you're ever in different terrain, such as snow and dirt or deep snow and mud at lower speeds and you need better traction. You just go ahead, twist it to the right for that function. You'll see these lit up. Now, if you're in with snow and dirt, you just twist to the left and it changes that mode. That feature is only to be used at lower speeds in those certain situations where you need a little bit more traction and assistance maneuvering from the vehicle. Normal city driving, you don't need to use it. To turn it off, you just push the button down. And we are back to normal. AVH here is an acronym. This is a new feature most modern vehicles have. I'll go ahead and push it. The AVH stands for auto vehicle hold. Now, after I pushed it, you'll see on your speedometer on the far right corner here, the AVH is lit up. So right now it's on and ready to go. Essentially, now that it's on, once we drive and then once we come to a stop, once you push the brake down to a certain point, you'll also see this circle right below AVH will pop up under here too. Whenever you see the green circle pop up after you drive and come to a stop, and then push the brake down, you can actually let go of the brake while you're in drive, and it holds the car for you. While at a stop, you can just relax until you hit the gas and go again. It's a new feature, may take some getting used to. I'm used to it, so I use it any chance I get. Usually at stop and go signs, red lights. If I'm in a draft to picking up maybe some coffee or anything, I'll use it there as well. But yeah, thank you again, Tony, Ellen. I hope this helped. Let me know if you have any additional questions. And then you can reach me directly at 480-389-0561. You guys were a joy and a pleasure to work with. Ellen, I didn't get to meet you, but Tony raved about you. And he was such a gentleman to work with. I really appreciate that. This is Caden with Camelback Subaru. Give me a call if you need any further assistance. Direct line is 480-389-0561. From Phoenix, Arizona, I wish you guys a happy new year and take care.